Welcome back on this Tuesday to you, Josh.
Good to be back, guys. Yeah, it feels good out of the weather.
Hey, now you and I, we go back a long way, right? We've known each other for years, decades.
A couple of years, I think. We used to do a little bit with Fox Sports, Friday interview.
Did. Yep, you used to come over.
Yeah.
Well, Xavier Ellis, of course, doing some fine things on breakfast at the moment. We're doing a podcast, X and I, this morning, and he was trying to explain to me who you are. Have a listen.
Hey, so that was just the one little one. So much so that, Joshy Garlepp, who does Triple M for us on the boundaries, he does videos.
So do you know who Joshy Garlepp is? He does. Thank goodness that X actually had to explain to me that you do boundary for Triple M, because I wouldn't have had no idea who Josh Garlepp was.
He clearly doesn't listen to the rush hour, Xavier. There's no support.
Yeah, it's a bit harsh, Zave. I've worked with both of you now for probably like two to 5 years. So, yeah, thanks for that, Zave. Description. Lanky Ranger also helps sometimes. Guys, I'd like to bring you the hard-hitting news of the week.
Yep.
A little bit different. One for the weekend that was a bit different. Fox Footy commentator Dwayne Russell. For some reason, Fox Footy thought it'd be cool to chuck up what his pre-game ritual is, like it was the same as a footy player. Did you have any quirks for yourself, or does Luke have anything in particular, Dani? Or
pre-game rituals?
Whether
he
that's
likes
food or sleep or a nap or
Nutrigrain mixed with wheat bix.
Really?
That's his breakfast. That's all he'll have on game day.
Wow. Did you know that Chad Fletcher and I, we used to go to a place called La Vella, right? And we used to have dinner at La Vella like the night before every game. But for away games, right, before we travelled, we would go there to have dinner, but then we'd also get them to give us lasagna and the potatoes, and we'd take it on the plane all the way over to Melbourne and then get the chefs to warm it up for us, and that's what we ate pre-game.
That's brilliant.
Because Fletch used to always say that it played well, he played well when he ate it, and I was just like his +1, so I got one too.
That is horrendous.
Well, superstitions are pretty cool like that. But, Dwayne Russell's was in pretty crazy. All right, so he has a sandwich, has a caramel koala, a twirl, a Red Bull, a triple shot, a long black, another sandwich, and a full bottle of water. And this is before the actual bounce down. And it calculated it's about 800 calories before the game starts. No wonder he's like flying off the handle when someone does a handball in traffic. Do you know what I mean? So that's one to look out for. I really liked that one. The other one was today, Finn Mundy. He was inside a meeting with the Dockers. Obviously, David Mundy, we're all following what he's doing towards the end of the season as Fremantle make their finals run. Justin Longmuir is a bit impassioned, has dropped an F-bomb or an S-bomb or something like that. It was bleeped. Sure. And Finn Mundy's pulled him up on it and said, hey, mate, what are you doing?
Yeah, feels a little bit premature, eh? We're not done yet. Someone in the front row just said, you got to watch your language, and I'll let it slip. Rude.
Don't say that!
I did. Too far out.
Every time!
Bring your swear jar down here after all.
If you couldn't love Dave Mundy anymore, the way that he parents his kids,
raised his kids well.
He's done an incredible job.
Do you know what? That's Ollie's the total opposite.
My
if
kids too.
Simo dropped an F-bomb, Ollie would go, yeah, F and hell, Simo. Like, he'd get right in there as well.
Well, this raises the question, though, nature versus nurture, because I would argue that some kids won't latch onto that. Maybe this is just something ingrained in the Mundy culture of raising the cultural bar.
I would have said, Dave Mundy, get your kid out of here now, all right, and join him.
Guys, the other one that I wanted to bring up was we saw Ben Rutten yesterday, Essendon coach, potentially being fired, unfired, all in the day's notice. I was following Talkback Radio, and I heard from 17 different people
follow,
that
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty controversial. Have you guys ever been fired from a job that you?
Borderline almost fired from Kmart when I worked there. Just a few dodgy things that I did at the checkout, but anyway, won't have to go into it on the rush hour.
I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it, Embers. You were potentially fired from a contract that you weren't allowed, or you're all pretty good all the time?
I got fired at BP once. I was working there, and a lady came in and asked if I could recommend some oil to her. Right. And I said the BP High Tide, because I just knew about BP High Tide. Didn't actually realise it was for boats. Right. So, yes. So she said, isn't that for boats? And I said, it's a very versatile kind of oil. I'm sure you could use it in your car as well. So, and I was gone.
Always with the upsell, mate. I like that about you. I had one or two. I was a courtroom sketch artist when I was 19. I randomly lucked into this, and I just one time submitted it, and it was so close to a stick figure that I think it was Jerry Damasi from Channel 9. She basically said, don't get him back. So that was the one time I got fired. Yeah. So it was a very short career. It was a couple yeah.
Get that big, tall, lanky ranger out of here.
Josh Garlepp's Footy Files.